Hello.
Hello.
Testing. Ollie, anything to say?
Do I have to be literally like here?
Or can I be like right here?
The closer the better.
Okay. Got it. Don't leave me.
What's up, babies? It's been far too long since we did one of these, so we're going to recap our 2025. I am here with my very special guest of honor. This is my assistant, my fiance, the one, the only Teddi Price. Everybody, a round of applause. So we are here to talk a little bit about our 2025 season, which was jam-packed with a bunch of weddings, a bunch of other events, and kind of just want to riff on it a little bit. I got some questions for the queen over here. But before we get into that, would you like to reintroduce yourself?
Yeah. So hi, I'm Teddi. I have been working with Kevin since 2021. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a fair number.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll get to other questions later. I don't know. I don't want to. What do you want? I don't want to like
That's okay.
say too much.
Okay, cool. No, I appreciate that. That's good. I have a list of questions that ChatGPT helped me come up with.
Perfect. We love chat.
We do love chat. Well, let's just we're gonna recap. I think we'll just start with talking a little bit about 2025. Because this was like our fourth official year, sort of, with SCE basically being just the tail end of 2021 and then rolling through. But it's been a while since we did one of these, so I feel like it'll be fun to kind of compare everything. So in 2025, weddings wise, we did 10 in North Jersey, 14 in Central New Jersey, 17 in South Jersey, 16 in Pennsylvania, ranging from all over the place, from Central PA to out to Philly and all over around us. And then we were in 3 other states this past year, in Connecticut, Maryland, and New York. And Maryland was the only one that you didn't work with me. So, yeah. Shouts to my man Little Rock for coming out. So we did 60 events wedding-wise in 2025. And then a number of other like bar gigs, club gigs, and we did some donating our time and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, we probably ended up around like 70, 75 events for the year. Based on the summary that I got from a number of sources, we were around 15,500 miles driven for events alone in 2025.
Crazy.
It's a lot of time in the car. I probably should have taken some time and converted it to like hours in the car just to figure it out. But it was a long time. Just bouncing all over the place. I guess now that you're kind of like finding your groove in all of this, especially since we started, at a separate company and it was years ago, and obviously weddings have developed a ton. How are you enjoying your experience nowadays?
It's awful. No, I'm just kidding. No, I love it. I love the fact that I do just get to work like one-on-one with you. Because with the previous company that we were with, it was a little bit different where, there were DJs and then there were assistants, and the DJ just kind of like got whoever was available as an assistant. They didn't have their own personal assistant, I guess, is if you want to say that. But it was also a good experience, especially just first like dipping my toes into the whole like wedding industry, because I originally went in to just kind of like be a photo booth tech, and then kind of came out doing photo booths and also like being a DJ assistant, and just kind of getting to work with different DJs, seeing how they do things, getting to like also kind of give them some insight maybe on like how somebody else did something and be like, oh, like, that might be a little bit easier if you do this. So it was kind of cool to be able to do that, but also it is definitely, in my opinion, just so much better to have one or maybe two, if it's not ideal to have. I know it's not always ideal to have someone that can work with you all the time and work 70 events with you. So, but I think it's more ideal to have, if you're going to have an assistant, to have someone that does get to learn how you do things and gets to kind of like be that person that you can fall back on if, you know, maybe you lose your voice or something happens, you know, that you can kind of just fall back on and be like, hey, like I might need you to step up a little bit. You know, we've been doing this, you know, like please help me.
That's fair. Yeah. I mean, ideally, I think anybody that does work with an assistant, number one, you absolutely should be, because all the reasons you mentioned. Like, if anything, if you stub your toe, you know,
there's just so many reasons.
So many reasons.
An assistant is so beneficial.
I can't think about doing it alone again. But I mean, ideally, you would. I think everybody would say they would like clone themselves, which I do think having one assistant is about as close as you can get to that.
Yeah.
You know, it's. I mean, you read my mind half the time. We've done, even before we were with SCE, we did intros without being able to make eye contact.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of just like the audible cues of, you know, if I say, and up next, like you already know something's happening. So yeah, I definitely, you know, having worked with other people, even having worked with other SCE guys, like they don't know our motions inside and out the way you do. They're obviously super talented and they learn in a day, but there's growth to be made when you master something, and then you can keep pushing forward. So, of course, it's been such a blessing having you with me, and I love mentioning you. And additionally, not for nothing, the female perspective is something I could never understand, and I tell my couples that all the time. And I think it's a crucial thing. But you mentioned starting in the wedding world as a photo booth tech, but you also did other things.
I did, yeah. So started as a photo booth tech, and then got to meet Taryn Blake from Blake Events, just kind of like working weddings with the DJs and as a photo booth tech. And eventually she was hiring, and I was like, oh, I would like to try wedding planning. So I kind of dipped my toes into that a little bit. You know, realized that I loved, again, being like an assistant, but was not like really wanting to be like a lead planner or jump up to that. And then kind of when, you know, you got approached to join SCE, that's kind of when we had like the big conversation about, you know, do you want to be my full-time assistant? Because I feel like at that point it was like I was trying to decide, do I want to move like to a lead planner? Like, you know, how far can I really get with just being like a DJ assistant, like with what I'm doing currently? So I feel like that was kind of like the big decision. And then I was like, I would much rather just be your A1 and go that way and learn more about DJing, because I just love music and the whole aspect of that. So
you're so good at it too, and I think that we can just like balance each other. I was talking with a couple recently, and they were mentioning an after party, and I was like, depending on your vibe, like Teddy might start the whole thing off.
Yeah.
And you might love it. So we'll see.
Yeah.
You know, and that's really the fun of it, is just, number one, obviously you're awesome to have an extra pair of hands, but just about anybody can do that. To have you with all your knowledge for weddings, in addition to being an excellent assistant as far as, you know, introductions, and then just throughout the entire night, loving lighting, you know, is so great. And then just like, you know, like you are just an extension of me. I'm an extension of you. So like, you know, we've been talking a little bit about, and if you do have any questions how we joined SCE, there's a video on the channel of me actually talking to Jason Jani, my coworker. And yeah, so and even he just mentions like how beneficial you have been to my specifically, of course, DJ team, but also like I do think that there's so much comfort in a bride seeing a female alongside. So yeah, might have to do some headshots with us in it now.
Yeah,
but
cool.
Yeah, cool. So that's kind of just like the statistics and the little bit of background of 2025. So let's get into some questions that I did pull some from our previous video, but I'm going to try not to repeat too much, because if you do want to check that out, we do have a couple previous recaps with Teddy from, I think it was the beginning of 2024. So recapping 2023 and then recapping 2024. All right. So when it comes to this world, what makes you nervous?
The DJ world?
Yeah.
What we are doing right now.
Are you nervous? Are you nervous?
I'm nervous.
Yes. No, I know. And I don't mean to put you on the spot to make you nervous, of course.
No, I mean, like I enjoy doing these. I do. I'm just not, I've never been a big, like, let me stare at a camera type girl. You usually a camera comes out and I like run away, or I'm just super awkward. So it's really funny in a lot of like our video or our photos that like photographers take of us at events. Like I'm always like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's pretty awkward. That's why I stick my tongue out and everything, you know? Like,
But
I
you're
don't know
so
what to
good at it,
do. I don't know
though.
what to do, but yeah.
But yeah, I would say just like the photos and videos, but I feel like the things that used to make me nervous, like just mixing in front of people, like I feel like that has kind of all like diminished in the last like year and a half. Like I feel like I've gotten a lot more confident with that stuff, and I just feel more confident like being able to multitask, you know, like if I am DJing, you know, as guests are coming in and someone comes up to talk to me, like before I would be like, oh my goodness, like I'm like trying to listen. Now I'm just like, yep, talking to them and just mixing my song like nothing ever happened.
Yeah. You think just the experience helped with that, or
Yeah, I would definitely say the experience. So like
experiences in like tenure, not just like
yeah.
experiencing?
Yeah, so like
Right.
I obviously like appreciate the fact that you allow me to like DJ like as the guests are coming in, because I do feel like for someone that like I love DJing and I just never really want to be that like main person. That's just kind of my thing. But I feel like getting to do it at that moment gives me that moment to kind of shine, but also gives me that like confidence and boost and be like, okay, like I can do this if I really needed to or wanted to, but I'm just comfortable in what I'm doing. But like if I wasn't doing that, then I would never feel confident in DJing in front of anyone. I don't feel like so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everything's scary until you do it, I think,
Yeah.
you know, and then if you take time off, it might get scary again, but
Yeah. And it's cool because like it's not like you told me what to play for, you know, the
mm-mm.
intro. I made my own mix. Like I have like a fun, I call it my fun open doors mix, or I have like a very like kind of like chilled, more relaxed one if we kind of have like an older crowd, or you know, like I know they're not going to come in like wanting to hear a lot of like fun music. Like they might just want to kind of like vibe out and come in. So it's kind of been cool to like make those different mixes and kind of just mess around with it too. So
Yeah, I think you've been reading. You give me information about like, hey, they were kind of flat walking in, so
yeah.
maybe, you know, like inject them.
Yeah, which I
with
think
energy.
is another big thing too. Like if you have an assistant and they're not DJing or they're not like, you know, reading the room, even if you have a mix on or something, like that should kind of be a main moment for them to be watching as those guests come in and saying like, hey, just want to let you know, like people were kind of bopping, or like this whole table over here was super fun. Like just a heads up, like because I do feel like that helps you then when you go to do intros. Like
yeah, it's the only time I'm not in the room.
yeah,
So yeah, any info is crucial and of course super helpful. All right, let's see. We don't care about our first weddings. In regards to music, you're mentioning the songs you're playing as guests are walking in, right? Our open doors mixing, which we like to do live for a number of reasons, being that we can gain information, but also that we're just live mixing. So it's like you're actually adapting versus just throwing the same old mix on. But what genres do you enjoy mixing the most?
I would definitely say R&B is still my like favorite. But definitely still like I'm just very big with like remixes and like house, EDM. I don't know. I feel like those are still like my favorite. Like, but I love like my whole like open doors mix is a lot of like classics and stuff, but they obviously have like that, you know, remix behind them to give them a little bit of more of that 120 BPM, which is still like my favorite like
Dance
spot.
music. Dance music. It's everybody's favorite, really, at the end of the day. Yeah, it's so fun. I mean, perfect tempo to get people moving.
Yeah,
and you can just hang there for a while.
But yeah, I think that's like the one thing that I still like try to practice a lot is like getting down into that like lower BPM. Like a lot of times when I am like creating mixes and stuff, like I'm just trying to like mess around with like, okay, like let me keep myself under like 110. Like, can I do it?
I would say that was one of your biggest struggles when you first started DJing, especially on Twitch, was like and I've used this analogy a bunch in a lot of my meetings, and it's, you know, you're trying to take somebody on a ride and you want to up, down, twists and turns and stuff. But like if you just go straight to 128 and you stay there, it's just a train. It's just a monorail. Yeah. You know, that's not fun. Kids don't yell and scream about riding the tram from the parking lot to the gate of the Six Flags. They want to get in and do all the flips and stuff. So I think we try to do a lot of flips but not too many to make people throw up. I'm gonna take this analogy to the end of the world. That's such a good one. All right. As far as your skill set, what do you think you have improved on, and what would you like to continue improving on, or really start stressing?
I personally think that I have improved on my phrasing. I feel like I now like panic if I didn't bring the song in like right after, like the lyrics are like ending. Like I feel like I'm like, oh my goodness, there was like a whole gap there. Like what's going on?
As long as the math makes sense, I think it's okay. Because sometimes I do think people like, they can't digest it too easily. So sometimes you leave like a 4-bar in between and it's not so bad, or it gives you a chance to mic work. But obviously for your situation, that's different. But.
Yeah. So I do feel like my phrasing has gotten much better. And just mixing in key too, because that was just something I wanted to personally work on. I know that is not always ideal or something you need to be doing, but I do feel like it definitely makes like a huge difference if you're going into a song and it's completely out of key and it's like, what is happening here?
Yeah, it can be a little jarring, especially to anybody that's musically inclined.
Yeah,
for sure.
I do feel like those are maybe the two big things. And I would also say just my confidence in talking to like guests and vendors that I don't know, because was not ever in this industry and used to like talking to a lot of people I didn't know. So at first I was just very like closed off, or would kind of just like stand behind you or whoever I was working with. But now I feel like I am more open now to just be like, oh, maitre d', hey, would you like to go over the timeline quick? Like, or I can talk with you. Kevin's not
You've
here.
gone over it without me there plenty of times.
That's kind of where like the planning kind of comes in from that I got that experience, and now like I feel comfortable with that aspect, and then to bring that in with you too, because I just feel like that's one less thing you have to worry about then, because I can just be like, oh no, I already reviewed it. I have all the notes on our little iPad timeline, so like we're good to go, and you don't need to stress about it.
Yeah, it's a good time for you to like grasp it based on them too, because obviously I've been talking to the couple for a while, so I feel like it's just like hammering it into you as well, but you're so good at that anyway. Talking about this confidence and everything like that, right? So say you are mixing Open Doors and you look up and Spinelli and Jani walk through the door. What are you doing?
I'm gonna continue to do what I would normally do.
Is that what you think would happen?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm not going to try to like all of a sudden be like, oh my gosh, I need to switch my vibe up, or, I'm going to just continue to do what I would normally do. I'm not going to panic, because I do feel like too, even like working with like saxophone players, they're also coming in as like an outside person. So like they're hearing us mix. And I feel like I used to get very nervous if I knew we were working with like other, companies and people that were going to be like there. Cause I'm just like, oh my goodness, like they obviously know music. They're going to know if I'm not mixing well. Like, so just to like get a compliment and be told like, oh, like that was a really good mix, like from a saxophone player that's there with us.
What are you talking about specifically, Teddi?
I'm talking about Art, because I love him.
Sax man Art, baby.
Yeah,
he's our dude.
He's my favorite. I love working with him. He's so fun. But yeah, I don't know. He just like gave me a compliment. I was like, oh, it's like a sweet mix, and I was just like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, no, it's especially from a musician, like And I remember when we started doing that, we like were panicking because I think we had like 2 in a row on one weekend or something like that. It was just all hitting us really quick. But I'm a big trial by fire guy, so I felt like it did feel right to a certain extent. But definitely just like recognizing that I let the music breathe a little bit more, and then just focus on having really clean and really well thought out mixes between the songs was a big step for me. But yeah, I mean, I do feel like there's and I've said this for a long time, when we do a wedding for like a close friend or something like that, I used to literally lock myself in a hotel room and like all but throw up. I was so nervous. But now it's starting to, like, I do truly feel like the pro, and like we've done very successful events many times, and I'm finally convinced that we're really good at this, and it feels good to have that confidence. So yeah, don't let it falter. All right. Yeah. I like these two questions together just specific because we do Pennsylvania and New Jersey so much. So like what would you say your favorite part about each individually, and then like some challenges that we do feel like we face if we're bouncing between them a lot, like like learning which one is which and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would definitely say I think obviously the biggest one is that like the multiple dance sets is where we like fall when we get to Jersey. It's like, oh, we might have like two or three different dance sets that's happening, so it's just a lot like sometimes to be like, okay, like well, we don't feel like this is the crowd for that or this or that, so there's sometimes there is a lot that comes into play with that we kind of like have to sit there and like psychologically figure out like, okay, these are the guests we have. How do we want to start this first dance set? How do we want to do the second? Like what was the vibe you were getting when, you were mixing, like when they were coming in? So I feel like that's like a huge one. And then also like just in Jersey in general, we're doing a lot more ballrooms and more like extravagant, places that have maitre d's and multiple staff members that you're talking with. You have the like the food runners and stuff coming out, like they're talking, so it's like sometimes you've got like 3 or 4 people going over timeline with you, and
But you have like your planner, your maitre d', your captain,
yeah,
and then like the server that because they work at 2 places.
yep.
And like I don't know.
So sometimes like that can be like a little crazy because then sometimes you have one person coming up and then then it's like, okay, well we need to check in with this person now, and like it just can be a little bit like,
and then sometimes you can't find any of them.
and then sometimes you can't find any of them. So that's like another thing. But then you get to PA and it's more like a lot of the weddings are more your barn weddings or more just very laid back. We'll slowly get through dinner and toast and maybe in 2 hours we'll dance, like, or maybe we're just there for like 7 hours and not like, oh, we're here for 4 or 5, like, no, now we're here for 7. And so I would say that's kind of like the biggest difference. And obviously like your guests are just different too. I feel like when you get to like PA to Jersey, like and who you're dealing with, are they going to be more like up in our face, or are they going to be more just like, we'll just see what happens?
Yeah. There was one place that basically they threw the couple of the keys and we like didn't even see really anybody from there, and we had to use a house system, and it was
So I would say like definitely PA we are more also kind of like running the timeline to like helping more, whereas in Jersey it's like, no, like they will tell us when we're moving on, like we don't make that decision.
and you kind of forget what it's like from place to place, from region to region and everything. So it can be a lot of bouncing back and forth, but I think we handled it pretty well. And that's like the beauty of having a team, is like we get through it together. So it's like, wait, did they say we had to wait for them before we started toasts? And
if you don't have one, we created like a list of like, the venues that we work at, and we'll go in and like make notes like, okay, like, do we have a parking spot when we get here? Do we have to pay for parking? Do we have maitre d's, just to kind of like remind us quick, like, oh, or did we go there? Maybe we had up lights, but maybe they didn't work. So that way, when you're selling something, you can say like, well,
not literally didn't function.
Yeah,
like
but
they
like,
just didn't feel like it worked
like
correctly.
They just didn't
it wasn't
work
right for
right.
the space.
Because especially movers, like, sometimes we'll get movers and we get there and we're like, okay, like we'll use them, but next time, like we're gonna tell a couple like we need to go with like tubes or uplights because movers just do not work in this building. So it's good to make those notes and have those to like go back on, especially when you are selling too. So I like that we had started doing that as well.
I would say more than ever before, couples are asking me like, well, what do you suggest for the space? And I think that just comes with like a level of professionalism, a level of confidence in, like describing all that. And then you definitely just want to have an answer. Like, even if you don't know, even if you haven't been to the specific space, just be like, well, uplights are good for, if you have a lot of blank walls and, like, or harder to navigate spaces with a lot of poles in it, because, intelligent lighting is not going to work there. As far as this past year, do you have any memorable moments?
Oof.
You told that guy off that one time.
No, I did do that. Yeah.
Not really told off. You just kind of like actually, like, you really stood up for yourself and what we do. And I remember that one specifically.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know. I just feel like this whole year was so good. Like, there wasn't like a lot that I could be like, oh, like this happened. You have your little technical difficulties that we always like work through and figure out together. I feel like if anything, those are the things that stick with me the most, just because it's like, I don't ever want that to happen again because it just makes you not feel good. Like, and it makes me not feel good to watch you not feel good. So it's just like one of those like, okay, how can we prevent that from ever happening? Yeah, I mean, when it comes to like, someone coming up during an open doors mix and saying, "Can you play some jazz?" I mean, the answer is no.
The bride and groom are
No, I
24
will
and
not play
25.
jazz during the open doors.
Yeah, like we'll get to dinner and everything. We ended up like having like a weird relationship with that older couple that day.
Yeah, I mean, they ended up coming out on the dance floor and stuff later.
Yeah.
It was just he was a musician and thought that he just knew what should be played at that time. And I was trying to explain to him, like, this is discussed the couple. They want everyone to get excited. They're about to come in the doors. Like,
I mean, really, you can say this is above my pay grade. Like, this is not my decision to make. I'm playing what I was told to play.
Yeah.
That's
why I just always say we discuss this with the couple and this is what, they are looking for. Like, and if I'm sorry if that, doesn't float
I'm
your
really
boat.
sorry that they put you right next to our speakers.
Yeah.
That was the worst part.
I mean,
literally like right here.
Also, yes, if you're a couple watching this, please realize where you put your older grandparents and older
Hide them
guests.
in the back.
Like
in the back.
they need to be not anywhere where the speakers are pointing. Just put them somewhere.
Keep the young bulls near us. Right. All right. Any other memorable moments, events, things that happened? Times you saw me panicked.
I've definitely seen you panic. We want to talk about a moment that you panicked, but that was just because the controller just like stopped working on one side. So that was, but it was, I don't know. I was just so proud of you and how you reacted to that. Like the whole left platter just started like reversing, right?
It was like slowing down. It was dropping BPM. There was, we found out that there was basically just like a piece of dust on the sensor. So it wasn't reading the rotations appropriately.
But to me, this is where having an assistant is super like crucial because I just couldn't imagine if you were there like by yourself. Like, because also like we had movers. So I'm at this point like running lights. You're just starting out like a dance set and all of a sudden things are like slowing down on the left side, So you're quickly like adapting to like, okay, how can I fix what I'm currently doing? I'm behind you like, okay, something's definitely wrong. Like popping up like, what's happening? And you're like, this is what's going on. I'm just going to keep going. And I'm over here like, Googling like, what's going on? This is what's going on. I'm like, all right, we got to pop this off. We got to clean this. Like,
yeah. And then the second set, we were back.
So it's just, I just can't imagine like sometimes being in those moments that I like see happen, like you just being there like alone and having nobody else to be like, can anybody help me? Right.
Yeah. If you are a business owner and you send your guys out alone with multiple lights into a venue that's new to them, you're doing your entire company a disservice, and you deserve a 1-star review for that. Even if they crush it, they deserve a raise then.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's a lot of DJ companies that don't have like assistants for their DJs, and I mean, I guess if you are comfortable with that, then you've managed to adapt to that, but there's just so many things that an assistant can help you do to also like elaborate on what you are doing. Like during intros, Kevin is not behind the DJ board, talking on the microphone and trying to mix music. I mean, I know it may seem so simple, but it just creates such a different light when he gets to be out there and going over to the fun table and talking to them and moving around.
You're adding motion to it all, which just adds a whole nother sense of it. Like I'm able to make eye contact with individuals, which I think is an important part. I can praise people for clapping really loudly, versus like, just being like, that's not loud enough from like way back there with a mic stand in my face,
Well, it's like if there's even something that was talked about in the timeline, like we've had that happen, where maybe there's just a lot of things going on and like we just added something. So we add them to our tablets because we both have one that we can read off of. But maybe Kevin just accidentally jumps like ahead and starts like moving to something. And I can instantly just be like, no, wait, doing this. And like we'll do it in a way that's like very tasteful, that it's not like, oh, hey, Kevin, like.
Yeah. But before we get to that.
So there is a lot to, which I feel like it has to take some anxiety off of you, not having to like worry about the music. Like,
of course.
I just can't imagine trying to talk on the microphone, also trying to like do the music, get to the next song.
I think my anxiety would exist no matter what.
Yeah, of course.
That's just because that's how I run at events.
Yeah.
Like, pressure makes diamonds. I like to feel the pressure because I want to make the best of it. And if you're nervous, then that means you care. But it's really nice not to have to be nervous about intros and then like a track running out because I'm not there or anything like that. Because, just the level that we have kind of risen to with SCE, I feel like was very like we could have totally laxed out and been fine, but we really put the pressure on ourselves to like bring the furniture every single time, no matter what, basically. Even if it didn't make sense, really.
Yep.
Like we don't cut corners. We have all that gear in there. We want to put it to use. Like using our facade and like really bringing our A game every single time and just all of that. I'm always live mixing, no matter what. We never play. I mean, besides cocktail hour, because that's just wasted effort.
Yeah.
But as far as opening the doors, we live mix all the way through dinner, and it's just we never really cut corners, and I think that's really where you gain a lot of your confidence.
Yeah, I agree. And like it also gives you like a slight break too, like before you really get into dancing. I mean, I would say for the most part, like sometimes I'm behind the DJ board for at least like an hour, 2 hours, depending on how long it is for intros, dinner, if we're doing formalities and all of that up front, like I'm there while you are still able to go check on the couple and talk to guests and talk to the toast givers, and I'm just back there mixing, dinner music or just playing like fun little vibes and stuff. And I feel like that's just a huge thing for you to be able to network with other guests and to just create that comfortability with the couple and be like, because later on, the more they're drinking, the more they're having fun, the more they're going to come up and be like, hey, can you play this song? And they don't feel uncomfortable to do that because maybe they've only talked to you on the computer or, so
Right. Yeah.
I just feel like that opens up a whole nother level to having an assistant as well.
And so many people get so excited to finally meet you too on the day of, which is super fun,
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got in here. I'm gonna save some of those for later. I guess well we're getting a bunch of new tech tomorrow. But
Ooh.
as far as like have we made that many improvements this past year? Camera wise, we definitely did.
Camera wise, yes. I would say just organization wise. Yes. I think this year we really this year we had put into was you had said, last year that this year you just wanted to have fun. So I feel like we really focused on trying to like, how can we have fun? All right. Are we stressed out at the beginning of this? Like what's stressing us out? How can we fix that? Let's have fun the rest of the time. But I feel like we were super big on like, how can just as simple as how can we make these chords more organized so it's one less thing we have to do, adding in little clips and
that's what oh my god,
like all the clips that we added in the booth just to make something so simple even simpler, like one less step we have to do, adding hooks to like the facade. Oh my goodness, what else do we do? I don't know, just like cable wrap, like all kinds of things, just like those small things though. But now, like, I feel like we set up maybe even 5 minutes faster than we did last year just because of that. So
5 extra minutes.
That's 5 extra minutes, adding our rolly carts, like just figuring out how to like put the equipment on them, put the equipment in the car better each time. Like we're always like, maybe if we did move this there, like
it's so fun to experiment. And I do, that's one of my favorite parts about this. And I feel like ADHD is seen as so much of like, oh man, I got bored of this job, so I want a new job. But like this is the type of career really where it's always different. So I'm always firing on that, you know, and that's what's really fun is like always I try to be so efficient, and more organized. This is the only thing I really type A at. So it's just super comforting to like know that we have that to look forward to forever.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we got a CO2 cannon. We didn't get to use it, but we did get one.
A what?
CO2?
Oh, CO2. I thought you said a tube cannon. I was like, we're just launching our both lights?
Yes. But also the both light clips for the speakers.
Oh, yeah. We got the clips so that we can attach our tubes to our Evox.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. And then we are upgrading a bunch of other lighting tomorrow, but we're going to save all that. Everything is going to happen.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. And, but additionally, I know that, of course, having the both tubes, I've already added a few more to our arsenal just so that we can provide some more stuff.
We did get the sheds movers too this year.
Well, yeah, we got those sheds
Very
movers, which are super impressive.
Love them.
Yeah.
They love them.
There's a video on that on the channel. Hopefully, I remember to put it up in the corner.
And I love lighting. It's like my
Yes.
favorite thing.
Oh, the wolf mix. We got the wolf mix this year. What the hell?
Did we get that this year?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess
Yeah.
that was it. Or yeah. Yeah. I guess it was it. Because we never got to. Yep, that's right. I love that thing. That's my favorite.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, obviously there's the learning curve of everything, but you know,
super simple.
I've been practicing a ton with the tubes in the office this off season, and they are
especially now, because that was, I think, the one that we never really had like the program fully correct for them, so we never really got to
basically had to like run them kind of like uplights.
Yeah, so I'm excited to get to use that now because I haven't gotten to use it since we kind of figured that out. But
crazy. Yeah, I got it. So many videos to do.
I enjoy so much making like lighting shows, and like that's like my big thing. If I know we have like movers when we get to the venue. Another thing, when you have an assistant, you get to the venue, you know, he's, you know, maybe like prepping some stuff for like reception, and I'm, you know, setting the movers.
I'm setting up ceremony, and she's setting up my entire setup, and then she's getting into programming the lights right away, because obviously every room is different. And very often we may know the space, or we may know the venue, the room and space that we're going to be in, but we don't know where we're going to be located. So like for you to know how to set up those parameters quickly is infinitely useful. Yeah.
Well, that was a good point. At even just like the whole setup thing. Like, what did we? The one time we determined, like, literally, you went to do ceremony and cocktail, and by the time you got back, I had the whole reception set up. So, like, that's again one less thing you have.
One less thing, but absolutely a pat on the back to our efficiency with setting up too.
Yeah.
You're the best. You're the best. Oh, here's a good one that I actually completely forgot to include in this list of questions. How have you started looking at weddings that we DJ, knowing that we're getting married in less than 2 months?
I mean, just pretty much like I'm just always like scoping out, like, oh, what do I like here? What can we like add into our wedding? Or was there something that happened here that I was like, I don't think I would enjoy if that happened at our wedding. How can we eliminate that happening? So I think it's been very like cool to be able to take our time planning our wedding, because we get to go to weddings. And that was kind of the big thing. It was like, okay, like there's zero rush for us to get married. So let's like take our time and really like scope out what we like from all these weddings we go to. We get to see all of these venues, and literally we picked our venue because we got to work at it.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of the things that like I feel like we're doing is because we like picked them up from other weddings and being like, okay, like we like that. Or just as simple as like, wow, we had to stand there and watch this poor couple do family photos for 45 minutes. We don't
in the
want
middle of the dance floor.
Like, we don't want to do that. How can we make that not happen? What can we do to make whatever was going on there go way faster? Like, so it's just been cool to like pick those things up and pick them out and be like, all right, like we just want to hang out with everyone and make it more like we're at a bar and just have fun and not sit down and just wait for things to happen.
Because we get nervous in front of cameras.
Also that. So I am much better.
I do too. Like I can't take 3 photos in the same spot without losing my mind.
Yeah.
I go bonkers.
But
I got some bonus questions in here because
bonus.
I know. It says for a future episode, but we're gonna do it now. Is there one no, we kind of already talked about moments. What is one behind the scenes task DJs do that couples have no idea about?
One behind the scenes. Well, I would say probably just most things that happen. Like, I feel like couples don't always, like, I'll hear them when you're on your meetings and stuff, like, ask questions. And I think, like, sometimes it's just funny because it's like, what do they think, like, their DJ does, like, or is doing? Like, I don't, just as simple as, like,
not an insult.
No. Like, I hear, like, literally,
your ignorance is not your fault.
Like, I hear some of them say sometimes, or even just, like, guests that come up, like, oh, like, are you just, like, playing a playlist? And it's like, do you think I'm just playing a playlist, like, off Spotify? Or, like, it's just funny to me sometimes when I hear that. And I'm like, no, like, there's a lot that goes into this. Like, a lot of, you know, just learning.
When people say, like, so what's on the playlist tonight? I'm like, what do you want me to?
Playlist?
Yeah, like, fuck if I know, dude. I'm figuring this out as you are.
Like we've got like the songs they like and don't like, and we're just kind of like going off of that. But I don't know. I would say like a lot of the back end stuff, just prepping the music. They might not realize how long you're sitting down, like prepping your music and maybe sorting it out like into genres or however you delegate that. So I don't know. What do you think? There's anything like big that they?
Well, just off of what you were just saying, I do feel like Lexicon has helped me speed that process up a bunch. But for me, that just, again, like with the anxiety thing of like you taking away that anxiety, it just builds up somewhere else kind of. Now I'm still just so used to prepping for like long periods of time. Like that's just how I've always done it. But now I spend more time coming up with like further ideas, you know, like, so what they gave me, let me go out 1 degree further and then maybe one more. And then sort of like spend extra time organizing them and trying to come up with stuff ahead of time. Yeah. Whereas, you know, if I was working alone, I couldn't, because I'd just be stressing about so much else. But I would say the one thing that people don't really know that we do is so much about, you know, a lot of people are starting to learn the term, like, you know, read the crowd, right? So, you know, they're just like, well, you just get there and you figure it out. And I'm real confident in telling them like, yeah, that's so much of what we do, but it's all the psychology behind it all the customer service that goes into it. And then we finally get to DJ in the 99th inning, you know, like it's just so funny that we are DJs, but we do all this stuff ahead of time just so that we can do that, which is totally worth it. Yeah. But it's just, you know, like the psych of thinking about it. If you have a long dance set, you got to leave your dips so that you can make people dance the whole night. Because if you do just drop in to September, Earth, Wind, and Fire at in 1:27, and then you just stay there for an hour and a half, you got tired legs. You know, you got to notice the difference between them jumping like this and them like, yeah, you know.
Which kind of spinning off that, like, I feel like it's good too, just like
Oliver, are you kidding me? Cat's on the counter. Sorry, you were saying.
I do feel like kind of with that though, like it's good for you to definitely always go over the timeline, in my opinion, no matter what, with whoever is in charge. Even if you got it in an email, I feel like you should still go over it, and you should be asking, what are those extra things that are happening? Because like if you know that there's a crazy dessert thing coming out, or there's this, like you can pre-prep yourself to be like, okay, at 9:00 when that happens, we should probably like take it down because people are going to go away. Don't keep trying to like keep it up here.
Yeah. Throw on some Aaron Carter.
Oh, Lord. Do you like Aaron Carter?
What's
your favorite song by Aaron Carter?
Is there like a candy song?
What candy?
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, like I do remember sitting on the bus and being like, oh man, I missed the Aaron Carter's new music video reveal on Nickelodeon last night. Like I remember that.
Yeah. Rip.
You know?
But yeah.
Oh my God, I completely forgot. Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah. That was my first concert. That's
grim, y'all. We got grim like, real quick.
I don't even know how old I was, but
what's one? Oh, you were talking about like, you know, the big events and everything like that, like, you know, the grand revealing dessert. But like in 2025, I feel like we saw some things happen that we had seen before that we hadn't seen in a while, and we also saw some new things. What's something that you either hope like catches on or you hope continues to stick around? And then on the flip side, what do you want to just get kicked right out the barn doors?
Well, I could start with that.
Okay, let's start with that.
Right out the barn doors. Toasts.
Totally.
Either totally or like have one. Maybe
I think one and a welcome is perfect.
2. Yeah. Like from the couple, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, first of all, the couple should, if they want to talk all night, that's up to them. It's their wedding.
Exactly.
But I don't know. Yeah. I just feel like the toasts are starting to get a little too much. People are talking for way too long. Even if they are great at talking. But if you have 4 toast givers, I mean, you are talking 20, 30 minutes of everyone just sitting there staring. And
do you remember that one dude we saw? He's giving his toe. Oh, geez, you can't see me anymore. He posts up against the wall, like kicks his leg up, and he's like relaxing while he's doing it. I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me, bro.
like there's
Read the room.
I don't know. I just like I understand why like maybe couples want to have that, you know, to have these moments like said and things, but like have a welcome party the night before. Have your toasts given then. Don't take
A lot
away
of people are doing that.
don't take away from your wedding because just think about it. Maybe that's 30 minutes that people just talked for. Well, what if they go 45 minutes? Now you're pushing your dinner behind. Now you just pushed your dance floor behind.
And then we
So-
get yelled at.
And then we
get
have
yelled at for that.
60
this.
minutes to dance and you're upset because nobody danced. Well, that's because then you had dessert come out and you had, you know, a fire pit and you had this.
And
So
cigars and a taco truck.
so
and
a lot of other things to think about is like, and what I would like to see go away is all of these kind of like extra added events. I mean, also like, it's like kind of like sad sometimes to see it. Like you see these couples are spending all this money on these crazy desserts or like these late night snacks and stuff. Well, by the time the late night snacks come out, half of your guests are gone. You just spent all this money on that for no reason.
yeah.
But
Unless
it's like
you want to eat chicken nuggets for the next 2
Yeah.
weeks, then
so it's just more like I think the big thing is like talking with your couples. And if you know that they truly want to dance, even like having a small conversation with them saying like, okay, well, like just be aware, like if you have other things happening, like that may not happen for
Yeah.
you.
actually, may I share a success story?
Yeah.
Just heard back from a couple. We had our creativity meeting, which we do around 5-6 months out. And they mentioned that they were adding an extra hour onto reception. And I was like, oh, so it's a 5-hour reception. And I said it pretty much exactly like that. And I don't know if I made that face. I honestly didn't look at the video back, but I was just like, the only reason I'm saying it like this is because in general, if you ask, so that means we're going to guess that the dance floor would probably be 3 to 3.5 hours, which I have no problem with at all. I love it. I get to take them on a journey, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I get to slow these, and then I can do, I have the freedom to do more. But I told them specifically, I was like, people can't stand up for 2 hours straight, let alone dance for 3.5. And I'm honest, right up to a fault, I think, with some of this stuff. I like to be a little bit blunt with it because I am their guide through this part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And even actually, their planner is our planner. It's Danielle from from Blake Event Company,
Mm-hmm.
pardon me. And she actually ended up saying the exact same thing to them. And they took away that. Believe me, I'll say yes to $650. Absolutely. And I said it in the talk too. I was like, it sounds ridiculous that I would even mention this, but for the success of the event, I 100% think that having a shorter reception allows you to squish things a little bit and really just like push the energy further. And in addition to that, Spinelli has mentioned this in the past. The 90-minute cocktail hour and 3.5-hour reception is the GOAT.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because you get that extra drink at cocktail hour, extra 2 drinks, extra 3 drinks, 4
Time to
if you're us.
talk to your guests. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
It gives you almost a full hour to go out and talk to them versus 18 minutes,
Yeah.
you know? And then you do have a slightly shorter reception, but then you feel like you have to move through it, which I think is the true benefit of it all. You know, there's a little urgency to it all.
Yeah, because I truly do feel like at 95% of the weddings, you have everybody might get on the dance floor right away.
Yeah.
And they're there for 25 minutes. And then they're going to go to the bar. You're going to lose them because they're going to strike a conversation. At the end of the day, this is you're talking with it's guests and family that haven't seen each other in maybe years or they live far away. They're not going to be on the dance floor the whole time. They're going to end up getting distracted. So to me, like if a couple were to say like, oh, we want to add an extra hour, I would almost like be like, well, we can do that. But like, then let's expect your first hour of that to not just be like, we're going right into dancing.
Right.
Like it's going to be a slow build up. Let's give you time to walk around, bop around, talk to your guests, give them time to do that too. And then we'll like get into it. Cause I think sometimes like too, when we end up with those, you know, we have like the venue come up and they're like turning the lights off and they're like, all right, go. It's like,
That's not how people
there are
work.
3.5 hours left. Like we are not just gonna like slam
Please
this.
let me slow roll them in.
Like we're not gonna just slam it down their throat because also they are walking around talking.
Mhm.
So like, of course
we're the masters of reading the room, and
we've-
venue
yeah.
representatives rarely are. There's a few that I can name specifically that I know they
Yeah.
know what they're looking for, you know. But we are those people. We are like party empaths, you know. We recognize when people are ready to go, and we recognize when they're not.
Yeah.
And we have definitely done a great job of like even guiding venues into recognizing that. Like, listen, I can throw Pitbull on right now. It's not going to change anything about what they are doing.
No, they're
And
not.
I'm not going to
moving.
command them because I don't want to be commanded to do anything on my wedding day.
Well, no, because then that just, to me, that's a guest that's just going to be like, well, he's rude.
I would
Like,
I would do the exact
I mean,
opposite if someone told
and
me
then
to do
to
something.
me, that makes you less apt to want to go to the dance floor because
Yeah.
you're going to be like, well, this DJ's already been rude. Like
Yeah.
they're yelling at me to get on the dance floor while I'm standing here talking to the couple or something,
Right.
you know? So there's just like things I think like a lot of times, like don't always listen, you know, when the venue is yelling at you that no one's dancing.
Use your best judgment.
Yeah, of course, but like, don't like if a photographer's leaving in an hour and they come up and they're like, "Well, like, are you going to get him dancing?" We still have an hour to do that. I can get you dancing photos in 25 minutes. Like,
Relax.
you don't need the whole hour.
Have a quick trigger finger, and you'll get it done in 8 minutes.
Yeah, so like, you need to read the crowd, and you know the vibe. You've talked to the couple, you know what they're looking for, so
Right.
go off of that.
Exactly. Yeah. I will say, just in general, scoping out, like working together is great because we get to have these talks all the time, just not with microphones in front of our faces.
Usually in the car.
Usually in the car, which we also get to travel together. Which
Debrief.
is like I love having you in the car because otherwise I just sit there and I get mad at traffic, and then I get angry, and then I'm just like alone and I get resting bitch face, and then I show up to the venue looking like this.
And that's like our pre-prep time.
Yeah.
You know, like I go through the whole timeline that Kevin already like prepped. If we have a timeline from a planner, I pull both up. I review his,
You
review
get
theirs,
colors.
you know, pull them over. I then like, because like, you know, I'm DJing the intros. So like I will, you know, if I need to move it around so that it just looks better for me to like be able to read off of, like I'll do that and like add little notes for him. But it's super helpful because then when we get to the venue, we're kind of like, all right, cool. We're going to set up and we'll review the music and we're good.
Yeah. All right. One more music question in 2 parts. You need to answer quickly. Okay.
Oh boy. Okay.
One song that you just want to go away.
Oh, go away.
That was played at like 80% of the weddings.
Hot to go.
Hot to go. Okay, cool.
I can't
love
stand
it.
I can't stand
I
that
love
song.
that. I like
I
that
think
you
it's
remembered that
so
because that is definitely the one that you have repeated over and over
It
again.
annoys me.
One song that you feel like is going to last a long time that came out in the last year or so,
Came out in the last year or so.
or that like became popular at weddings for us this past year that you think should stick.
I do think that like the newer Taylor Swift songs are gonna stick. I mean, also
Everybody says they love Ophelia, and we actually ended a wedding with
and
that
I mean,
song.
there's especially some of the remixes that have come out and things and that have been produced like that. I think it's a great song, and she's already a very like known artist. I'm trying to think of like some other. I don't feel like there this year though. There was a whole lot of like.
I will like just because I like doing the mix is I do the No Broke Boys.
Oh yes, that's
Yeah.
yeah. I do think that that's a
With
good.
Yeah. What the fuck is that? DJ Brain Fail.
Mhm.
Better Off Alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we pretty much, or I start with like the hook of No Broke. Hang on, cat food. So I start like with the hook of No Broke Boys. You're just ripping through the chorus real quick, and then bring in blends. I can't remember who it's by, but neither here nor there. And then go into like the actual verse of it with the Better Off Alone behind it. It's just so fire. It's so fire. Like the number, we had that one awesome musician groom that we played his song at his wedding, which was sick.
That was cool.
But he literally just like was like blown away, and it's so fun making people do that, or like they hear it and it sounds so good that they think it's right, you know, and that's really what that felt like.
I do think too, like
Luke Olszewski, that's who it was.
Yeah.
My man.
I do think too, it's a lot harder with all of these like music platforms that everyone listens to, like your Spotify, Apple Music. Like no one's really listening to the radio anymore, like the top 40. So I feel like that was kind of like a big thing that like I kind of just did, and was like, I was just listening to the radio like every morning, like, okay, what are these same songs that I'm going to hear, throughout the entire day? And I just made like a whole list, and I was like, let's use these for like dinner time and like between, you know, toasts and things like that. Because I do feel like there's a lot of good music that's out. Like what's Man I Need by Olivia Dean. And like
Add to dinner. Here we go. We
was
have
it
Man I
Nile?
Need, Undressed by Somber, Stick
Yes,
Season. We
Somber.
played a bunch.
Sixth Season, like those songs are so fun and like people know them, especially if they do listen to the radio because they are on the radio. They're on the top 40. They're listening, like, but you can't play that during dancing time, you know, like they're not dancing songs. They're more of like maybe bop around songs like while you're talking. So like I think that was really cool to like incorporate those this year too.
Definitely.
And just like finding fun songs. Just don't ever have dead air. Just find fun songs to like take
if you're
the vocal.
dead airing, what are you doing? Unless you're using it to your advantage.
Yeah, like, you know, but like, you know, 20 seconds of an advantage.
Right. Yeah. No, absolutely not.
Maybe not even that long, but
like just let it sizzle.
Yeah.
Right.
But like just even between toast givers, don't like have nothing, but like just have your assistant, or if you're back there, just have a song that's like known to people. I can't even think of the song. Yeah, like, but I'm trying to think of the song I've been using though in the back. It's
Espresso.
It's a newer song.
In the background.
No, there's like a newer song I've been using. Yeah, it's okay. But it's kind of like a Stick Season like type song, like in the back. You know, and I'll just take the vocals out, but just for something fun, you know, as that toast giver's hugging the couple, moving on, you know, Kevin's introducing the next toast giver. And I don't bring that down until I see that toast giver is about to speak their first word, because sometimes they're like putting their glass down or they're fidgeting with their papers and they're pulling it up. And the last thing I want to do is pull it down and they're still up there like, I'm not even ready. So like, just pay attention to that.
Yeah. Awareness. Okay. I got like 2 more questions for you. That's it. Okay. Mm-hmm. What advice would you give to someone starting as a DJ or DJ assistant?
I would say just
recognizing these are 2 different roles, of course.
Yeah, of course. I guess if I start with a DJ assistant first, I would say that you should be a DJ assistant before you are a DJ. So
I mean, yeah, you get to know if you like it.
I think you should definitely like start out that way, like if you're just starting out. But I think like if you're starting out as a DJ assistant, biggest thing is like to like literally whether you're taking actual notes or mental notes like at each event, and just like realizing like the things that may have been stressful or that may have caused maybe a discrepancy in between, you know, because it happens. I mean, you know, we are not perfect. There are things sometimes and it's like, I'm sorry, like I messed that up. How can we prevent that from ever happening again? Like, how can we work together? But just like thinking about those things. I don't know. There's always been like there's always small things that happen, but just like taking that extra step to think about those things and saying like, okay, well, how can I also make your job easier? Like, can I maybe start to like DJ intros? Could I make like a mix and, you know, show it to you? And maybe I could do that, or like, you know, work with the person that you're working with. Like if you're a DJ, I feel like you should want your assistant to learn more and want to do these things. So I just feel like as an assistant, it's like, just take that extra step to help out and notice when guests are coming in, are they dancing? Like, and telling, you know, the person you're working with that. If you're just going full in and starting out as a DJ, I would say the biggest thing again is just like reading the room, listening to your instincts, and not like if a guest comes up and requests a song, just you don't have to play it.
Yeah, and that's I think that's one thing that we got real good at this year, minus one individual. But it's like setting a good expectation. It's like, hey, like, so the song you're asking for is way up here, speed wise. I'm down here, so I just got to bridge this gap first. And then I got to just make sure that it works with what I'm already doing. So no promises, but I guarantee it's on the list. I can tell you that much, you know. Even when guests say don't take requests, I'm very big on like letting them voice the request anyway to see if that's something that we can do, or fast tracking something else. It doesn't matter. It's information. It can help you do more with what you have. But yeah, we I think we previously mentioned like so much of just learning the skill until you've like almost mastered it before you try and go out. Because I think the biggest shot to a DJ ego, which of course exists, it almost has to exist, But the biggest shot that you can take is thinking you're good and then instantly being shown you're not.
Yeah.
So if you honestly, if you stay in the bedroom one more day, you're going to get better, and you're going to be better if you do go out. So, but also at the same time, like, mingle, go out and listen to how people are DJing and seeing if you are at that level. And you're never going to feel like you are at that level, maybe, but just keep pushing. And YouTube University honestly has been like the biggest thing for me. I enjoy adding to it my perspective of stuff, but recognizing that I will never be a master of this because it's always changing. But like being able to just like consume other people's stuff and leaving the comments and building the relationships and stuff, especially with how much time we've kind of taken off from the conference circuit, in the last couple of years because of the wedding and stuff. It's just, I just feel like it's great to get education any way you can and talk to DJs as much as you can and always be looking for inspiration, which does come from being around other talented people. So,
and you should always just want to do better and be different.
Yeah.
Don't get scared by the do not plays and all that. Like, take them and be like, oh, I get to do something new today.
the do not play video. Yeah. Yep. All right. Final question. Anything for the good of the order?
I don't know. I'm just excited for 2026. I mean, obviously we are getting married, but I'm just excited to see what this year brings. And I want to just continue to have fun and continue to obviously just elevate everything that we're doing and always just work as a team and see how we can like continue to incorporate that into obviously like the marketing for you, but also just to make that better for couples in general. So
Yeah.
I think it's just been super cool. I just love like when a bride's like, Teddy, it's so nice to meet you. And I'm like, hello.
They like run right past me. It's no,
So it's so cool though to like
it's
have
super cool to see
that.
them react like that to you because it's additionally a reminder of how humble I should be, which is that, bro, I'm just a guy that's here. I've told couples a lot. I'm just a guy that happens to DJ. I'm just a human being, and no, I put a lot of time and effort into this, and I of course love what I do, but I also love a lot of other things. So, like, don't forget to show your human side of so much. Don't rip other DJs off. Be as creative as you possibly can. Be original. Be authentic. Be yourself.
Or just tag them if you used something, that was theirs or whatever.
Yeah, I'm just more talking about like the general culture of it all.
Yeah.
Like, like push your boundaries, be you, DJ the way you want to. If weddings aren't it, then don't do it. Yeah. It's totally fine. I know we're under a lot more scrutiny, specifically in the market that we're in the world that we're in of private events. But, like we went out and found a couple bar gigs just for funsies. And I have no problem with the fact that we aren't doing it anymore because it wasn't a right fit. But you know what? We had a lot of fun while we did it.
Yeah.
So, I think that's it. I think so. Just double check. Yeah.
Yeah. I think just big thing. If you don't have an assistant, like, I guess really like sit down and figure out why you don't have one and maybe how it could make your life a little bit easier.
Consider it.
Yeah.
Teddy got a raise this year. So she's never going to make less than $275 per wedding. It was a $25 raise. That's it. Just always add it on to every event, no matter what. But I did kind of have to twist your arm to get you to kind of agree to it. We were driving back in borderline snowstorm. We had run out of windshield wiper fluid. It was a train wreck, y'all. But I was just like, hey, so I've been considering giving you a raise. Like, do you think you deserve it? And you were kind of just like, I don't know. That's not really my call. Like you were dodging left, right, center, Neo, like dodge, duck, dip. And I was like, well, did you do better than you did last year? You said yes. Did you do more in terms of your responsibilities this year? Did you do more to help me this year? Okay, cool. Then you're getting more money. And you know what that is? It's rewarding for me to be able to do that because granted, she's in the same household as me, but like the same reason that I think a lot of people run multi-ops is because they get this awesome feeling from providing a livelihood and supporting others through something that they've created. Or it's just a massive ego thing, you pricks.
Well, it makes your assistant really appreciate and want to do more.
Yeah.
I mean, if that was never anything you offered, I mean, I'd just be like, well, what is the point in me doing more? Not that money is everything, but you want to be appreciated and know, like, okay, cool. I did more this year. I helped with this. I didn't break gear. I didn't do that. Maybe I'll get a raise next year. Like that's just something like you should want to do for your assistants.
Pats on the backs don't pay bills.
And don't be afraid to tell your couples you have an assistant and what their name is, because I do feel like genuinely a lot of assistants just kind of get left in the background. And it's like they are also there for the couple to go up to as well. So
Yeah.
make sure the couple knows who they are. Like, so if they want to put their name on a tip envelope, they can do so.
That's my favorite, because then I don't have to do math.
Yeah, like it's just they're just literally saying like, hey, just so you know, like I bring this assistant with me. Their name is X, Y, and Z. Like, maybe they'll remember it, maybe they won't. If they do, awesome. That means that they really care about their vendors.
Yeah,
like
take pride in your people, 100%.
Yeah.
All right, Teddi,
Cool.
thank you.
Yeah, thank
Appreciate you doing this. I
Appreciate
just
you.
think it's super fun, and you have a unique perspective in so many ways. Ollie, come on, buddy. Come on. At the beginning and at the end.
Come on in. Don't get your butt off.
All right. Well, while Ollie is getting comfortable sharing his gender with all of YouTube, thank you so much for just continuing to jump back on here. It's super appreciated. We were putting our foot on the gas on the channel, at least in this off season. Again, it does get pretty difficult to keep pushing it in the regular season, but while we have the time, I'm cranking some stuff out. So thanks for checking it out. As always, there have been a number of videos listed in this video, but I do a pretty good job of organizing all the videos on this channel, so please go and check them out, because I do try and help so much, whether it's general DJ tips, software tips, some mixing tips, gig logs, talks like this with, of course, with Teddi, and certainly trying to do it with other people in the world. Yeah, I don't know. I like this platform, and I like you. So thanks for being here, Teddi. Thank you so much again.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Next time I see you guys, we'll probably be married. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, hey, thanks for being here. It's been such a pleasure.
Of course.
All right, and thanks so much to our sponsors. We don't have any sponsors, but no, yeah. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. It means a lot, and if you could do us the favor and support. Finally, I have you on here, and I get to show you. This is the family you support by subscribing, by becoming a member on the channel, which I'm putting a bunch into very, very soon in the spring. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I got a lot to say, and I really appreciate the fact that people actually listen to it. So thanks so much, honey. Thank you so much, honeys.
Thanks.
Appreciate you all so much. We'll catch you on the next one. Stay tuned, everybody.
Bye, babies.
Bye-bye.